then built to renovate and expand the arena and the area around the arena.
So the public paid for this?
Some of it, a lot of it, but maybe not all of it.
If the arena was such a good deal, why doesn't the rich guy pay for it?
I think the Pacers are at least kicking in $65 million.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's so nice of them.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Lowry out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Anunoby in at the 3 spot. And for Indiana, Oladipo is the 2 with Warren playing small forward. Sabonis and Turner up front. And it's Brogdon in at the point. Passes it to Warren. Pass to Oladipo. Shot clock at 6. And here's Brogdon from the arc. And no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
It seems odd to say, given that they won that pretty easily, but really they did not look especially strong in that game.
Yeah, you know, I didn't sense any urgency on their part. They did just enough to win, but I don't think they can come away feeling great about the way they did it.
And it's good, 2 points. Well, you want to talk about efficiency in less than 25 minutes a game. Domantas Sabonis averaged over 9 rebounds, hit nearly 60% from the field. It was a 3-point threat, and he came off the bench.
And a great contract. I mean, one of the best value guys in the league because, you know that he can play on a playoff team and get big minutes. And I think the most interesting thing for me with him is I'm not sure him and Turner should be on the same team. I think he could be the kind of stretch 5 who can also go inside and bang some bodies for a really good team. And when you have him and Turner together, it's just too easy to go small and kind of exploit one of them. At some point, they're going to have to pick between those 2 guys. And it might even be right now. Like literally right now. This second, now that I've mentioned it.
You guys are watching the game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he's not afraid to take hits on the way to the free throw line. Kyle Lowry will manufacture points any way he has to.
And he sinks the second. For Indiana, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Now, here's Oladipo, covered by VanVleet. Yep, it counts.
We know Oladipo is one of the quickest guys in the game. He is devastating on the drive.
Ibaka outside. Brogdon against Lowry. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the content. It's going to be on Miles Turner. You know, Bill, Indiana's a huge basketball state. Lots of love for the high school game, certainly the college game, but support of the Pacers has been a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah, I blame the Pacers because they should never have less than 3 players from Indiana University on the team at all times. Indiana people really love people who went to high school or college in Indiana. And I think that's one of the reasons they've responded to Oladipo like they have. Not only is he great, but he's actually an IU guy. I would always have at least 4. They should have all the Zellers. Anybody who's played
all
at
3
Indiana.
of those Zellers, then maybe the dad can come back and play too.
Yogi Ferrell,
yes.
all those dudes. They should all be on the Pacers.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Lowry, and the shot goes in.
Some guys, Kevin, just have a knack to get to the cup. Kyle Lowry's all about being aggressive and assertive.
Lowry against Brogdon. Oladipo, the pass to be Johnson. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Did a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Davis is checked in for the Raptors. The Pacers shooting their first free throw of the evening.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Wide open. Kept alive. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid in by Ibaka.
Kev, we know this about Serge Ibaka. This guy is a strong presence on the offensive glass. If you don't check him out, you're going to get hurt.
And Bill, talking about the Pacers and the history of this franchise, what are some of your favorite eras of Indiana Pacer basketball? And maybe it goes back to the ABA days.
Yeah, they didn't have the ABA in Boston. I never saw any of those games.
Yeah.
I just saw them through the little books and the magazines, but it was like this alternate league happening. I didn't know if it was real or not. They came really close in the mid-'90s, and there was a great lost Indiana-Orlando series that went 7 and was really entertaining. Orlando up winning. That one was good. I thought in '98 they took the Bulls and Jordan to the brink. And that was the closest I thought the Bulls came to losing a series out of any of those 6 title years. So those would probably be the 2 highlights. The 2000 finals, they were a little closer to beating the Lakers than I think people realize.
It's a history lesson every time I sit down with you.
I'm trying.
The pass to Brogdon. Inside. There's Sabonis. Siakam pulls it in. And so Lowry will bring it up for the Raptors. Leading by 5. Siakam against Sabonis. Ibaka, no luck.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Indiana making some changes. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Sabonis. Lamb comes in for Oladipo. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Malcolm Brogdon. Raptors also changing it up. Marc Gasol is checked in for Ibaka. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for OG Anunoby. And Norman Powell subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Back to McDermott. 5 to shoot. That one's off. He starts the game with a miss. Raptors leading by 5. That'll go on McDermott. That is his first foul of the game. Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16 seed no conference playoff format years ago. I think they were really worried about the travel though. And they've looked at it and they've really studied it and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1 and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff, and it's a 2-2-1-1-1 series. What is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West, which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences, and I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better. Yeah.
Now, here's McConnell. He's guarded by Davis. McConnell passes to Lamb. Back to McConnell. Has to be Tadze.
And the defense not making things easy for them.
And once again, off the mark by Indiana.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Hollis-Jefferson, good.
Well, the big man muscles there. Hollis-Jefferson experienced at having to fight his way through the defense.
46 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Bitadze, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points. How? Some solid defense there from Lamb. Pacers trail by 7. Right at the free throw line. Gasol with the rebound. Here's Toronto. They're on a 13-5 run. It's stolen by Lamb. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Lamb. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. From deep three-point range, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's Toronto heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone.
You a lame
And Serge Ibaka talked about his skill set. Now it compliments Kyle.
Bring my defense toughness, my experience.
And really, Ibaka is a seasoned veteran now, a terrific role player known for his defense.
And Ibaka knows his role and plays it well.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. Taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here, guys. What have they been doing or not doing, in your opinion?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
And why wouldn't they, Greg? You see their effectiveness in the open floor. Very difficult to slow down.
So for Toronto right now, they've got Norman Powell. He's out there with Fred VanVleet. Marc Gasol is out there with Hollis Jefferson. And it's Boucher in at the 4. McDermott, the tip in on the offensive rebound.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Here's VanVleet. And Gasol slams it in.
The 7'1" makes a dunk look easy. Go ahead, Marc Gasol.
And so Holiday will bring it up for the Indiana Pacers, trailing by 5. After this one, they're off to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Here's Lamb. It's Turner, high post. And they convert it last on attempt number 3.
Well, Miles Turner has earned the trust of his coaches. He's got the green light in these catch-and-shoot opportunities.
Here's VanVleet. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Bill defenders are doing a better job of challenging the shooter from the side so they don't foul and don't step into that landing space when he comes down from shooting.
Yeah, I don't like the landing space. And all that stuff. Like,
well, what would you call
load management? We have all these phrases now. It's like, how did these phrases come in my life?
Load management is interesting.
Load management's the worst. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Can we just play basketball?
Just like work, yeah. Just rest.
What's the thing they call when the guy travels, but they say it's not? It's like he's gathering the ball. It's another one.
Gathering
I never said gathering the ball in my life until 2 years ago. Enough with the weird phrases.
Yeah. Lowry dishes to Gasol. Left side Lowry. 5 on the clock. Victor Oladipo grabs the miss. Pacers trail by 5. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And the shot goes down.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Toronto, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. Last time they met was in Toronto.
And the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
I think they took tremendous satisfaction from that performance and ended up winning going away. So is it something they'll look to repeat tonight?
T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Indiana. Malcolm Brogdon comes in for Aaron Holiday. Siakam is checked in for the Raptors. And Siakam throws it down.
Well, the wingspan of Pascal Siakam makes that dunk look easy.
Lowry against Brogdon. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Siakam. The Pacers have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. Brogdon hits them both.
The way he's shooting free throws tonight, you simply don't want to put him there.
Raptors leading by 3. Bill, it was in Boston where you received your master's degree in journalism. What attracted you to this profession? Why journalism?
I couldn't do anything else, and I didn't like manual labor.
No, really.
No, that really was it. I was good at writing.
Like anybody in your family or anybody you
I was always a good writer, and I like writing and sports.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, I'll do those two things
Did it in
together.
high school, I'm assuming?
Yeah, started in high school. I had a big thing for me was in college. I had a column for the school newspaper, really from freshman year on. And around sophomore year, it felt like it started to get momentum. And that was the first time I thought, I wonder if I can get paid for this.
Right.
Which, as it turned out, no, until I was about 29.
Yeah. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. And he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. And after winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. Siakam passes to Anunoby. Ibaka outside. No good on the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Up again.
Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
Toronto calls timeout.
And sometimes from the outside, not always clear what led a coach to call for a timeout.
And as you know, it's what comes after that gives you some sense of what has changed.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Indiana. Davis is checked in for Toronto. Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Warren. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
OG Anunoby is tremendously athletic, and when he plays with this level of aggression, it's hard not to foul him.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
1:58 left here in the second. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, that's his second foul. Does he take a more cautious approach here the rest of the half?
And the shot by Warren, no good. Toronto's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. It's good. And that's now 6 points for Kyle Lowry.
Well, no fear in Kyle Lowry's game. This guy is happy to take it inside and seek you out.
Now McConnell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Passes it to Sabonis. He kicks to Warren. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
How about the delicate floater on display from T.J. Warren?
Bill, we so appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. Always feels like there's so much more to talk about, which means we got to get you back here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, Doris, you read most reporters, they try to stay impartial, but not Bill Simmons.
Well, I think that's what makes him special, Kevin, right? He has his own lens through which he sees things, and he is unafraid to give you his opinion.
And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Trailing by 2. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, but what a tremendous effort, Kevin. I thought they were coming all the way back. Such a terrific fourth quarter of basketball, but they just could not get over the hump. And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
For Toronto, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Ibaka. And that one hits back iron.
Well, tremendous defensive effort on the interior. That's the kind of contest you want.
McConnell kicks to Warren. From deep. No good on the last second attempt there.
I'll tell you, the skilled defensive effort right there.
And so it's Miles Turner making things happen for the Indiana Pacers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We come back right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball. Indiana's first quarter could have gone much better. A big part of the problem was their defense and inability to slow down shooters. And that's going to do it for a...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Pascal Siakam, guys, really making a difference here.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Pacers, Ogden and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. T.J. Warren out there with Sabonis. And it's McDermott in at the 5 down low. Doris, so interesting to watch 7-footers who almost never shot three-pointers make that now a featured part of their game.
Give some credit to the coaches who recognized the game was being revolutionized and that three-point shooting, regardless of position, would become integral to success. So a guy like Marc Gasol, who actually fought the idea of taking threes, Brook Lopez, Nikola Vucevic, all of them have become more integral to team success and more capable NBA players because they can shoot the basketball. It's beautiful.
It is. Evolving and adapting at that size has been something to watch.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Oladipo, the pass to Brogdon. It's deflected, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Absolutely appreciate the effort, though. He really went after it so close.
Miles Turner, he's checked in for the Pacers. And then for Toronto, Gasol comes in for Serge Ibaka. And Norman Powell subbed in for OG Anunoby. Pass to Van Vliet. Back to Lowry from 20 feet out. Raptors get it back. Right side Gasol. Toronto working the ball around now. A three-pointer off the mark. For Indiana, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. The pass to McDermott. Over in the corner, Warren. Can't hit that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Outside Lowry. Back to Gasol. The leaner. Powell in the high post. Pass to Van Vliet. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Indiana. On Saturday, they'll be matching up with Al Horford and the Philadelphia 76ers. And then on Wednesday, they'll be playing against Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors.
And just looking ahead to what's on tap, there are a lot of winnable games for them, but you can't go into the stretch with that mentality. You've got to focus on what's in front of you and bring it every night.
Back to Brogdon. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. And let's take a quick peek at the 2K leaderboard and the steal leaders from the point guard spot for the last 10 games. Number 5, Kyle Lowry.
And with these guys, they are always going to give you an equally outstanding effort at both ends of the floor. I mean, it takes very aggressive defense to put up steal numbers like that.
You know, I think that's the mentality they have when it comes to defending aggressive. They don't let up for 1 single second at that end of the floor, and they're always looking to cause you discomfort.
And good that time. Lowry's got 4 points now in the quarter.
It feels like in some ways this is Kyle Lowry's natural range with the jumper, doing work from the mid-range.
And the Pacers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Holiday dishes to Warren. Off the left rim and out.
He is just not taking smart shots out there, a pattern he has fallen into tonight.
And truly some significant roster changes for the Pacers this past summer.
Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. Warren. They've gotten younger and gotten better as well, if you ask me. Excellent work by the Pacers front office.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, a Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole. Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. The shot by Powell, no good.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
And Holiday kicks to Holiday. Warren the pass to Holiday. Poked loose, and that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession.
And a moment now to see the stats for Powell. The past month has been surreal, averaging about 23 points per, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. All-around brilliance for him lately. And guys, he's really taken his play to another level.
Don't you get the sense, Greg, that the confidence is building game by game, and he's starting to put up the numbers that back it up?
Sabonis with the steal. Lamb dishes to Holiday. Pass to McConnell. And here's Sabonis. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. They get Marc Gasol.
Well, skill is such an important part of today's game, and that suits Domantas Sabonis just fine. This guy has great hands, can pass, and can shoot with range.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And the son of Hall of Famer Arvydas Sabonis, Domantas was born to play this game.
I think that translates, and you see it most often in his IQ on the floor. This is a young man that thinks the game at an extraordinarily high level, and he is as fundamentally sound a guy as you'll find in the NBA.
Toronto calls timeout.
Every timeout, a chance to review the lineups, matchups, or call a play.
And the guys get a little bit of a break, mentally, physically, just recharge here quickly.
The Raptors making a switch here. McCaw's checked in. We've got 1:18 left in the third. Dishes it to Ibaka. Kicks it to Davis. And again, no good by Toronto. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for Indiana. A 2-point game. Pass to Sabonis. Now, here's McConnell. Defense is right there. 4 on the clock. Turner. Indiana again missing. Toronto, they've gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. The drive by Siakam. The dunk and the foul. A powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to go on Sabonis. Out of Cameroon, Pascal Siakam, drastically improved last year, Doris. Is he the prototypical modern power forward?
He is, Kevin, and there's a few reasons why. The guy can rip and run. He can space the floor. He is switchable on the perimeter defensively. He can go inside, outside. Everything you want in terms of versatility, Pascal Siakam brings to the table.
There's Hollis Jefferson, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
Well, to me, this is what Hollis Jefferson does very well. This guy, a phenomenal dunker with the ups he has.
To the paint, Sabonis, and slam dunk by Sabonis.
And that's how you answer. I'd say he just one-upped him. Pretty good one there.
These two guys really like going at each other, don't they? And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And we've reached the end of the third. The Raptors out in front, up 5. It's the end. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Davis is out there with Lowry, and it's Ibaka in at the 5 spot.
And the move back to his more natural 5 position has rejuvenated Serge Ibaka. More room to operate offensively, and defensively he can stay in the paint where he's effective.
Now, here's McConnell. Now recovering. Here's Sabonis. Got a piece of it.
I'll tell you, Siakam has the ability to intimidate offensive players. How about that one? Send it back.
Here's Anunoby. Right through the D for the layup. Anunoby's got the lead up to 10 now for Toronto. And Ibaka's shooting ability, Doris, had enabled him to play some power forward, but his mobility was being tested.
Correct, because at Ibaka's size, it's tough to ask him to chase smaller guys around the perimeter. He is much better suited playing inside and protecting the rim. I think you saw that last season.
Now, here's Lowry. He's covered closely. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
I'll tell you, he's trying to help them extend this lead, but it's been a tough night for him individually.
Up top, McConnell. The shot. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Siakam.
Oh, Kevin, how about the reach of Miles Turner? He covers so much ground to come up with these blocks.
Siakam against Oladipo. The second chance effort. That one a little long. Pacers trail by 10. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has...
And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal... seeing if that was the right call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Here's Anunoby. He's covered by Warren. Ball's knocked loose, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sabonis. And some changes here for the Raptors. Marc Gasol is checked in for Ibaka, and it's Fred VanVleet in for Davis. Anunoby kicks to VanVleet. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Siakam misses.
Well, terrific defense. They obviously respect his ability and just want to make it tough.
Oladipo, the pass to Turner. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Miles Turner, the 11th pick in 2015. I think defensively probably the best player out of that class. And if you view it through that prism, you wonder if going back he might have gone top 5.
And you know, Doris, there were some medical red flags for Turner that may have caused him to slip a bit in that draft.
Yes, but I think he has alleviated any of those concerns. Credit him and the trainers for developing his core and for this young man paying the price in the weight room. He's gotten stronger and stronger.
And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Warren. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Pacers. They trail by 6. There's the pass to Oladipo. Three-pointer. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Raptors have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. Here's Lowry to the middle. Here's Gasol. Takes it out to Siakam. Just 5 on the clock. Lowry passes to Siakam. It's rebounded by Indiana. Sabonis has got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Warren. Turner trying to free himself up. Rebound by the Raptors. They've led by as much as 10. Now here's Van Vliet. Down low. Tries from 10. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Just a cold shooting night. Needs to try to make it into the basket.
Rod didn't catch to Oladipo. It's rebounded by Kyle Lowry. Toronto leading by 6. Here's Anunoby. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, there's an awareness that's required to be a good passer, and Kyle Lowry, he has it.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
The offensive rebound.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Pulls up on the wing. It's stolen by Oladipo. Siakam against Warren. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Oladipo. Tipped away. Marc Gasol picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Marc Gasol. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They trail by 8. 1:36 left in the game. Got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Pascal Siakam.
And he's put on a terrific show of skill in the paint. A combination of moves, footwork, and that soft touch down low. It's all added up to one dominant performance for the big fella.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys. Well, Nate McMillan had some advice for the team during that last break. He told them this is gut check time. This is when it gets real and when it gets fun. We're here to play in these big moments. Let's make this one count. Kevin, by my count, that's 5 cliches.
Okay, David, thanks. Powell finds Lowry. Back to Powell. In the corner, Ibaka with it. Powell inside. Guarded by Oladipo. The shot by Powell, no good.
Every second counts now. They can't wait around.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip.
The kick out to Oladipo. Three-pointer, and it's blocked. Lowry with the ball. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Powell for 3. Connects from three-point range.
Absolutely critical that Norman Powell expand his range. The more he makes that 3, the more the floor opens up.
Oladipo against Powell. Pulls it from 20. Oladipo misses.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Outside Lowry. Shot clock at 5. Kicks it out to Siakam. Lets the 3 fly. The rebound by Turner. And here is Warren. And so it's Toronto winning this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to...
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you.